Hello everyone, welcome to the Paradox Engine. Today, we'll be talking about the top 10 cards freshly printed in the new Followed Magic the Gathering set. We're very excited for the set. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to see what it brings to the future, especially for Commander, especially for cEDH, and of course, we'll be rooting for some of them to appear in Legacy. But first off, I want to talk about number 10. It's an uncommon. It's called Bottle Cap Blast. It has Improvise. It deals 5 damage to any target. If excess damage was dealt to a permanent this way, create that many tap treasure tokens. We've seen that treasure tokens have been very impactful in many formats. No exception. cEDH uses a lot of treasures. And Bottle Cap Blast, even though it's a 4 in 1 red, it might actually be very useful. I'm very excited to see what this card brings to the table, and I can't wait to see it. Not to mention, it's also an instant. It is, honestly, a very interesting card. Hope to see it more. At number 9, we have a land. I think it's gonna be the most, weird pick for the list, in my opinion, but we do have faith that this land will provide a lot of value. It's called Diamond City. Diamond City enters a battlefield with a shield counter on it. Huh. It's great. It taps for a colorless. Not bad. I mean, it would have been great if it tapped for a color, but hey, I think this is going to be a lot of, very useful, because the other ability is move a shield counter from Diamond City onto target creature. Activate only if 2 or more creatures enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So for those low-to-the-ground creatures, or for those token decks that have a lot of small creatures entering the battlefield, I think being able to protect your commander and just do tap Diamond City, put a shield counter on it, avoid it being destroyed, is pretty good in my opinion. I'm surprised if we don't see at least a lot of play in normal, non-competitive Commander. It just screams value to me. Sure, once that only shield counter is expended, or used, let's use the correct, once that shield counter is used, you kind of don't have anything else to do with Diamond City, unless you, sacrifice it, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield, but that seems a little bit janky. We'll see how many people, talk about it, but I see it being used in, non-competitive Commander. That is gonna be very, very good. Hopefully we see a lot of play in it. For number 8, we have a card that I think might see some play, especially with decks like Urza, which are seeing a lot of, resurgence lately, and maybe decks like Tivit and Marnius. It's gonna be James Wandering Dad. Especially, we're gonna see a lot of him because of his adventure, which is follow him for X and 2 blue. Instant adventure. Investigate X times. If it's someone's end step and you have a lot of mana just lying around, you can just pay the 2 blue and X and create as many investigate tokens as you need. Tivit might see a lot of use for him, especially since Tivit needs a lot of artifacts to sacrifice for time save. I think we might see this play a lot of there, just like the new Murders at Karlov Manor blue that we've been seeing play a lot. I keep forgetting its name. It's the Vidalcan Artificer that reduces the cost of them. But honestly, I think this might see play, maybe more in casual, but I see a lot of potential in competitive just for the adventure. But he's also a 2/4 that taps for 2, to activate mana abilities, which is not bad. You get Marnius, you get a lot of activated abilities like that just could really use a little bit more help, and I think that might be beneficial. For number 7, it's inventory management. I see a lot of people talking about this card, and I can see why. It has split second, it's just a red and a white, and it reads, for each aura and equipment you control, you may attach it to a creature you control. So let's say you're attacking, and you percent lethal, but you don't have enough mana to attach all of your equipments, you attack, you play inventory management, you equip all of those equipments to your commander. And I see Voltron lists might actually get to play this a lot. I don't know how prevalent Voltron lists are in cEDH at the moment, but, Casual Commander actually sees it a lot. And it is a very fun, very janky kind of way to play. Edict effects usually, unfortunately stop them a lot, but I do believe inventory management might be a really good way to just pick up the pace, start again, and keep going as best as you can. For number 6, we have Atomise for 2, 1 green, and 1 black. It's another instant. It says destroy target non-land permanent. It's expensive, but we like it because of Proliferate. It has Proliferate. And decks like Atraxa, or things that depend a lot on +1/+1 counters, will more than likely want to see this card being played. A lot of maybe Sisse can find a way to just make it work, especially since a lot of Sisse lists are running Planeswalkers. Atraxa Super Friends will love this card. Maybe you're running an Infect deck. Honestly, I can see a lot of potential for this in Casual Commander, and maybe some explosive play here and there in cEDH. Not saying it's gonna be great for cEDH, but for Casual Commander, this might be a very big bomb. Next up, for number 5, we got the Mysterious Stranger. It says 2 colorless and 2 red. Creature human rogue. It has flash. And it reads, when Mysterious Stranger enters the battlefield, for each graveyard with an instant sorcery card in it, exile target instant or sorcery card from that graveyard. If 2 or more cards are exiled this way, choose one of them at random and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So the way I'm seeing this is, especially for cEDH, you cast it, you copy wheel effects, because a lot of wheel effects enter the battlefield. You can copy removal, the free spells in Commander. You can cast counter spells with it, and I think we might see a lot of play with it on cEDH just because of the versatility of it. In Casual Commander, I can see this cloning board wipes, I can see this cloning ramp effects, and I can see it just being a very powerful, at the end of your turn, I will also copy what you're doing. A lot of fetches, a lot of tutors. I can see this being very, very powerful in the future. For number 4, we have Rose, Cutthroat Raider. And hold on, I feel like I've seen this card before, but I'm not entirely sure, because it reminds me of that Kaldheim card, that God card. Briggy, I don't remember, but every time you cast something, you gain a red? Is it? I don't remember. I don't play red a lot in Commander, and I'm just starting to play red to figure it out. But Rose Cutthroat Raider reads like this: 2 colorless, 2 red. Legendary artifact creature robot. First strike. It's a 3/2. But it has raid. At the beginning of your turn, if you attack this turn, create a junk token for each opponent you attacked. I've said so between our social circle before, but it seems junk tokens are very, very, very pushed. And I can see this card being played in Omnixilis. I can see this card being played in Prosper Tomebound, where you exile you tap the junk token to exile the top card, and it triggers them. And while sacrificing it, you net 1 red mana. And honestly, this is a very, very, very cool card to see for those decks. And it not only creates 1, but it creates 1 per each opponent. So it incentivizes you to attack multiple players, so you can create more junk tokens, so you can have more activations. It's potentially 3 red mana that you can get just out of nowhere, I do believe this is a really good card, and I can see a lot of value in it. Hopefully, we see a lot of play of it in cEDH, but honestly, I see a lot of value in it overall. For number 3, we have probably the card I'm most excited for, aside from number 1, but this card is just insanely good. It's called Synth Infiltrator, for 3 colorless and 2 blue. Artifact creature Synth, and it has Improvise, so you can tap your artifacts to pay for the cost of any colorless mana in the spell. And it reads, you may enter Synth Infiltrator. You may have Synth Infiltrator enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a Synth artifact creature in addition to its other types. The way I see this, it's just another Phyrexian Metamorph. I see it as another clone, which is just amazing. And it doesn't have to target your creatures, it can target anyone else's creatures. So let's say there's a Dockside Extortionist in field. You can target that Dockside in blue and have your own Dockside. I think it's going to be an amazing piece. It's cheap. It's only 3 mana. I'm sorry, this card is amazingly busted, essentially. It's only 2 mana, essentially. Especially for decks that produce a lot of treasures and junk tokens, and a lot of food tokens. This is going to be amazing. Believe me, if you can pick this up, I highly recommend it. I really like this card. I see a lot of potential in it. Not to mention, it can also copy other very valuable pieces in the game. But for number 2, we have Idolized. Enchanted Creature. Enchanted Creature has, whenever this creature attacks alone, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of non-land permanents you control. This is just straight up gas for 2 mana. It's 1 and a white. This is just straight up an amazing equipment aura. It'll hit so hard in so many decks. It can just blow out an entire player if you have enough permanents. And I can just, it's gonna be amazing. If we can figure something out to give this flash, and you're just attacking with your commander, this is gonna be amazing. I remember the old days of the days of old where Sigarda Voltron was a thing. This would be such an amazing card for that deck. I don't know. Look it up. If you can find a way to break this card, please let me know. I truly believe this card is gonna be insanely good. And for number 1, I know. People might be asking me where this card has been, but I honestly think this might be the strongest card in these pre-constructed precons. And it's Ratstorm. It's 3 and 1 blue. It's an instant. It has Storm and Proliferate. You know how well this card just goes with, it goes so hard with so many things. Atraxa, Tivit, Marnius, and so good. It has 2 of my favorite and strongest keyword abilities. These mechanics are so good, and the thought that they're combining them in a single card. Super Friends decks, please look out for this card. Get it as soon as you can. You won't regret it. I truly believe this card is going to be the cream of the crop. It's going to be amazing. It's just, get it. You're going to love it. Your parents are going to love it. Your friends are going to hate it when you play it. You can ultimate planeswalkers right off the bat. You can just create so many +1/+1 counters. You're going to love it. Trust me. Just play it. Especially on turns where you play so many little things, and you can just be like, oh, I'm just going to proliferate and storm off, and maybe do Grape Shot after that. It's just, I see so much value in this card. And I don't know how to talk about it, because every time I look at it, I can see new lines, and I can see new perspectives for it. And trust me, just get it. If you're not getting the precons, at least get this card. You won't regret it. It's amazing. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below. If I said something weird or wrong, please do let us know. We will be looking at the comments and adjusting our content through your feedback and your input. But yeah, we'll see you later. Follow us on social media. There's usually a link tree down below. And make sure to follow us and talk to us. We love to hear you out. We also have a Discord. Please join the Discord. And yeah, we'll see you later.